So it's funny, like you can play with it a little bit and say, okay, well, who does it? Who's committing fraud? And based on our estimates, it's organized crime.
Mm.
So if you're doing digital marketing and not doing anything to protect your budget from fraud, you're technically supporting organized crime.
Oh my gosh.
When you think of it that way, I mean that's taking it out to the extreme, but that's
Sure.
logical. That's how it's
Wow.
going. So how do you take, how do you defend yourself? How do you protect yourself? Now, again, if you apply a technology like ours to a campaign, the average client will see a 20 to 25% lift in ROI. So there's a big value. Like if there's any time like, and you said as a marketing manager, if you can improve the ROI by 20, 25% by flipping a switch, why wouldn't you?
Oh my goodness. Exactly. And I could also imagine that. So here's one of my biggest pet peeves with marketing companies and is that they have to test your ad, right? They have to go out to market, see what the results are, then coming back and tweak it. And it's this, 3 to 6 month process of testing your ad, randomly spending money, making sure that your ad is dialed in correctly, to use their language. In my mind, that to me is a waste because I think that marketing company, if they know my business, they should know how to get there sooner, better, faster, stronger, right? But then on top of that, losing 25%, that just slows the process. So
Yeah.
if you could have that process dialed in better, then you're getting better metrics and data to be able to tweak your ad properly rather than not filtering through the fraudsters and the bots and organized crime who's taking your ad money. This is crazy.
Well, think about it this way. So, like you said, that's another, fault of fraud is it skews the data. So
Mm,
now you have these smart marketing people who know what they're doing, making good decisions based on bad data.
mm,
So if you're making good decisions based on bad data, you get a bad result. And it could take longer to get to your ultimate result. Because some people are like, well, no, I'm a performance-based marketer. Like I look for when somebody fills out a form so we have a lead that we can sell. Well, they beat those forms. What they do is they go online, they grab your information, right? And the rest of your information's online. They could be easily picked up, easily get your phone number, easily get your email address, business address, whatever information they need to fill out a form. They click on a link. They're going to get paid for that click, or they're going to get paid for filling out that form. They put all your information in, check the little box that says, contact me, hit submit,
and they never show up for the appointment.
or you could no. But what happens is, so now let's say it's a car insurance ad, right?
Okay.
Somebody puts an ad on Google, puts a car insurance ad on there, and the fraudster gets paid for that click, so they can click on that ad landing page. Now, if they kept on doing that, just going to the landing page and doing nothing, any any marketing manager worth their weight would automatically go and say, okay, we're going to block this keyword, we're going to block this source of traffic, we're going to do something with this. Like we know there's a problem there because it's not converting. So they're smart enough to know, hey, 1 out of 30 or 40 times I click, I have to fill out a form to validate the chain to continue getting paid. So then they take stolen information, fill out the form, hit submit. The marketing manager says, oh, the conversion flag fired. This is a good source. Guess what? We want more of it. Now, what happens is, let's say you're selling this to an Allstate, right? For example, Allstate then picks up the phone, calls Marissa, and says, hey, I'm calling you based on the information you filled out on the form. And you're like, wait a second, where'd you get my information from?
Right.
That creates all kinds of issues. And this is off the topic, but that's a TCPA violation. It's one of the fastest growing lawsuits in this country. So this is happening nonstop. So, right now, I can guarantee you and your audience, your phone rings and you don't answer it. Why? Because 9 times out of 10, it's not for you. Or
Mm,
they're calling you and you didn't give them information to call you. Technically, a legitimate business, in order to call you, needs expressed written consent to call.
right.
And I mean, before this call, I had 3 calls that took place from time I had lunch to the time I was sitting down having this conversation of people that I know. If I pick up that phone and ask them who it is, it's telemarketer trying to sell me something, and they're not allowed to do that. So how's that happening? It's because somebody's using my stolen information, filling out forms. They think they have consent. I laugh because a funny story. When we first started this back in 2017, 18, my mother-in-law, She was trying to understand what we did. Like it's technical what we do, but like it's there's
Sure.
ways of describing it, and she didn't quite get it. And then she got a phone call from somebody from a bank that said, "Hey, we're calling you because we want to save you money on your mortgage." So this is a company who probably bought mortgage leads of people who are trying to reduce or refinance their mortgage. And she was upset because she's like, I don't have a mortgage. Where'd you get this information from? And she had the argument, got the supervisor on the phone. They apologized profusely. They didn't know what was going on. And she hung up the phone. She goes, "Oh my God, what a pain in the neck that was." I go, "That's what we solve."
Exactly.
It just clicked. Then she got it. She understood what we do.
Wow. What a terrible experience to have to do that. It's like you're kind of like, when people realize what it is that you do, their eyes are going to be so open to the fact that it's everywhere. And it's this like wicked virus that's going out there that is taking your time, your marketing efforts. And if you're click and removing, your story you said where, this keyword gets removed because it's not working properly, that's damaging what could have been a really good, campaign potentially. But because some fraudster came in and did that, they're sending you down a different rabbit hole that may not perform well. And I think
Agreed.
that's the piece that today's business owners really don't get because either they've handed off everything blindly to their marketing team and said just do it, right? Or if they do understand it, they don't understand it to this level. And it's a terrible waste.